Well, good morning. Day 62, out on trail at 7 a.m. I could have left earlier, just packing up, waiting for the sun to rise, but I'm not in a hurry today at all. Only got 8.5 miles. I'm getting picked up by a shuttle to go to hostel today. All right, let's do this. Band of the day today is Loverboy. Yes, they come to Oshkosh every once in a while and play Waterfest. Favorite song by them is The Kid Is Hot Tonight. And honorable mention song is Hot Girls in Love. So I was gonna go like this earlier. Good morning, how you guys doing? You know, that voice from yesterday. That little skit I did on my own. Did you know that was me, both voices? I did not get another person to help me out on that. So anyway, I got that voice from the movie Fletch, when Chevy Chase, he's in the hotel lobby and he's on the telephone trying to disguise his voice. Yep, excuse you. That's why I threw that in. He goes, then I don't know what, you couldn't hear what the other guy on the other end of the line was saying, but at the end, like Chevy Chase says, yep, first thing in the morning. And then what makes it even funnier, that scene, there's an old lady that's at the desk, you know, working the hotel, and she just kind of, you know, he's going on and on with this conversation, and there's this guy's voice, and she just glanced over him for a split second and turned back and kept watching her cartoons on the TV. So, all right. Well, anyway, I slept probably close to 5.5. It's hard to total it up, but I was in my tent early again. I mean, what are you going to do? There's nowhere to really sit. So anyway, I was tired from the start. I could have fell asleep at 7 at night, but I don't know, I think it was around 9:30 going on 10 where I just said, heck it, I'm going to go to sleep. And I slept, I think I woke up once at midnight, and then another time, 2 in the morning, you know. So at that point I slept pretty good, but after 2 o'clock, I was pretty much awake all night. I know there was 2 little bouts of sleep that I got, so it's hard to total how much, but I'm refreshed now. So all right, let's start this day. It should be an easy one. So I've been meaning to tell a couple of stories, so I'm going to get this out of the way before I keep forgetting. In the trail, there is one climb today, but no big deal. I think it's called Rocky Top, or Rocky Bald, I should say. Rocky Top is later, I think. Anyway, there's this 90-year-old guy that's through hiking the Appalachian Trail. He goes by the trail name of Graybeard, and he's on Facebook. And I think if you just type in Graybeard Appalachian Trail, you'll find his page. He doesn't YouTube it. He is, he started last September. He went southbound from Harper's Ferry, and then he started back up, I believe, late March. And I think he did the Smokies, but he's leaving the very southern section, I think the last 30 miles for the very end. So he went back to Harper's Ferry, and now he's working north. He's got roughly 800 miles to go to do it in a calendar, 12 months. It doesn't have to be in the same year. Anyway, so yeah, Graybeard. I don't know the exact ages, but there's another guy named Nimble Will. He had the record, I think, around 78 years old. I'm just doing a slight uphill right now. And then Graybeard beat him, I think in his early 80s, around there. And then Nimble Will beat him again, I think in his mid to late 80s. And now Graybeard is attempting it, and it looks like he's gonna do it. I think he turns 91 on the trail during that time. But anyway, I was talking to the shuttle driver. He was giving me a lot of information. He said if they're both healthy enough, next year they're gonna do it together. And something about, I forgot which one now, but he's going to let the other person go first, and so he'll have the record, and the other one's going to go 10 minutes later to set the record again. But we'll see if that happens, but I think it's kind of cool. And then the other one is this is a Facebook page also. They did like their first 2 days or whatever it was on YouTube. So they're called 32 Feet Up. 32 feet, one mother, 15 kids. That's 32 feet. And they thru hiked the AT as 3 years ago. Youngest kid was 3, turned 4 on the trail. Don't ask me how. This all was financed. How they can not get injured. How a 3-year-old girl can climb these hills and this and that, even a 4-year-old or even a 10-year-old. But anyway, I think the 2 older boys, they didn't thru hike, but they were kind of the support crew. I think they had 1 or 2 vehicles, a van, which is fine. But I'm just skeptical how they ever managed to do this, especially now that I'm on the trail. So, yeah, it's a lot of kids, and it's a lot of money. I know they got, as they got more down the trail, they got a lot more exposure, a lot more help and financial help and all that other stuff. But either way, even if it was free, it's just an amazing story. So, apparently she doesn't have to go back to work. I don't know the whole story of her personal life, but they have since tackled a couple other smaller trails. And then just last summer, they either canoed or kayaked down the Mississippi River, the whole thing. I don't know. I don't get it. And then they were going to do the Sea to Summit Trail, which is near here. And they bailed out of that one because they didn't feel the road walking was safe with all those kids. I don't blame them. But so that was the 2 stories. And I'll throw this one in real quick. So I think in yesterday's video, I was talking about the guy with the pit bull, and I passed him. And my instinct, I didn't think he was just a little skeptical of the dog and all that. And I just kind of glanced at him. Just seemed a little on the weird side. And I was right. I'm pretty sure I was right. So anyway, I wanted to get some distance between us, which I did. But after a few miles, I heard the dog barking. So probably half mile away. And then that's where I saw the other person coming Sobo with their dog. What's funny is I was talking about the leash, but if you're actually thru hiking, it'd be pretty hard to use trekking poles on a leash, but I don't know. Oh, getting back to another story I can throw in here. I'm going uphill quite a bit now, but I'll do it slow. Let me just stop for a second. 2 years ago, a solo girl from Canada. She was thru hiking the AT. She only had about 300 miles to go. She was going southbound. Her dog ran away. He wasn't leashed. And there was this, it was 2 years ago, like March. So she only had a couple 100 miles to go, and her dog ran off. And it was at the tent site, and there was this massive search for it. In fact, I was in the area of the AT called Max Patch, and that's about where the dog was lost. And there's all these signs that are posted on trees and stuff and everywhere in towns. And make a long story short there, they eventually found some remains that matched the dog, but she was not convinced at all. So they did some kind of DNA test. I don't know how that all worked out. And it's one of these that were like, oh, it's 99.9% that it was that dog. So I think she finally accepted the fact that her dog was gone. And I forgot, she had to go back to Canada and she couldn't finish the trail. I can't remember now if she came back after the fact and did finish. She probably did. It was only a couple 100 miles ago. And so getting back to the dog story. So when I got to camp, so the trail, let's just say this is the trail. Okay, so on the left-hand side would be a source for water. There's a sign that says water. On the right-hand side says shelter. So I took a right and I went to the shelter. Well, you saw it in yesterday's video, but Well, then I went to the campsite area and I found a campsite and set up my tent and everything. And one of the last things you do before you go in your tent is hang your food bag. And I was kind of having trouble finding a decent tree. And so I just settled on this, smaller tree, just high enough so the bear couldn't get it. I don't care if the mice got it, fine. So I'm kind of struggling hanging it because my paracord's really thin and I think it's 50 feet. It seems more. I might cut that thing in half. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's 100 feet because I got so much slack and it gets tangled up. So I'm struggling with that, and you got to wrap all this around a tree. It's just a nightmare. So in the meantime, I'm struggling. The guy with the dog comes by and he sees me. Oh, that's a nice food hang. And I didn't really say much, yep, because I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So where he's at is past the shelter. So it's like continuing northbound. So then he's standing there and his dog didn't bark or anything, but he just plops his butt down right on the trail there, threw his pack down, sat down. I'm ready to say something. And it's like, you seriously gonna watch me hang my food bag? Or, struggle with this cord? So then he got up and went the other way, Sobel. I don't understand. Why did he even come down there in the first place if he was going to stay at the shelter? I don't know if he did stay at the shelter. I doubt it with the dog. I didn't see any other tent. Maybe he just had to check it out, use the facilities. I don't know what his intention was, but, I'm talking so loud, he's probably on trail right now with the dog because, I don't know, it's just weird. There's a lot of weird stories on the AT, but these are just mild ones. All right, dragged this on 9 minutes. Well, that'll be the bulk of today's video, but now you got all the stories, and we'll see ya probably. If I see something on the trail that's worth filming, I'll do that. Okay. I'm getting ready to do some silk blazing. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick this up, but there's some spider webs. Yeah, you can kind of see that to the right of it. See that? There's like 3 or 4 of them. So since I know they're there, I'm just going to use my trekking pole. I don't know if there's ever spiders attached to those, or big ones, but I don't want to find out. I just made it to Telico Gap. I got about an hour and a half wait for my shuttle. That's fine. That's the earliest you could get here, I guess. So let my shirt dry out. I got this, I was double layered and it's sweaty. It's starting to warm up now. I mean, I had all 4 layers on earlier. I think it was 43 degrees when according to my temperature thing I'll show you real quick. It said 43 at about 6:30 in the morning. It's right. I got this little temperature thing here. Let's turn it on and see what it says. What is that, 73? No way. 74. Well, it's not nowhere near that, so this thing's not very accurate. It's probably in the low 60s. I think the high today is only supposed to be 61, but that's because the sun's beating down on it. Show you these right here. I've had these from the beginning of the very start. I just never opened them up. But that about wraps it up. I get my shuttle, get to my hostel, and I'm gonna relax the rest of the day. Early day today. Just in case you get lost, you gotta look for these blazes here, but hey, there's one. This will be my second hike. Tomorrow I got to do behind me 8 miles exactly. So then on the next day's hike, I'll be crossing these tracks and going up that way. Want to see a preview of this sign? I don't think there's no train coming. Let's see what this says. North. Sassafras Gap Shelter. Well, I already climbed up Sassafras Mountain on day one. Chiobald, I always hear about that one. It's Telico Gap. That is the next pickup area, so I'm gonna have to do a 13.6 mile in 2 days, but it might be 3 days, but I'm gonna fill you in what's going down. Okay, so hate to sound like a broken record, but I gotta get off trail. Hang nail. Just kidding. Yesterday I was hiking, I think it was around mile 9 out of 11. I started feeling it, my left foot again, and the right, but it's mainly the left foot in that outer part that was giving me a problem. I'm just assuming that it hasn't completely healed from the previous shoes and the repetitive motion and everything. So since I'm not willing to take a day off, actually when you hike the trail, you gotta go through the grass here. I'm just gonna keep it rolling. I don't care. There's a lot of people here. It's a Friday. So I'm gonna just reassess what's going on here. So then, actually a walk up here. I'll just keep walking the trail. I'll be doing this in 2 days or 3 days, which I'm gonna explain. So then today's hike was 8.6. I can't film when there's music playing, otherwise I'll get hit for copyright, and I'm not getting hit for copyright when I'm just trying to do a bit here. So I'll walk over here and I'll explain this whole area in a little bit too. So, and then also close out today with some pictures of this resort area called the Nantahala Outdoor Center, which is situated along the Nantahala River. Look at all those kayakers. Let me zoom in. So many. Okay. So anyway, today, after 6 miles, I could feel it, and it was pretty bad. And I had to do 2.5 more, and most of it was downhill, so it was agony. So anyway, I got picked up. I got done hiking for the day. I started at 7, was done by noon, and I wasn't really trying to go fast or anything, but it was roughly 2 miles an hour, like it should be. And I arranged my shuttle pickup, and she said the best she could do was 2 o'clock, which I had arranged anyway, but I just kind of threw it out there, a text, hey, I'm here early if you want to. But anyway, so there was another hiker getting picked up around 2, and it turns out she came an hour early anyway, so we didn't have to wait that long. I didn't really care, except the only thing I didn't like about the place that I was going to get some more steps in like I'm doing now. I only need another 1,000 or so. Sore foot or no sore foot. So, got picked up at 1, and yeah, that gravel road, there was no real flat area like here, and I was just going to chip away some and listen to music. I got an ebook to read. So I went up and bored waiting a couple hours, no big deal. But I was kind of getting hungry. I ate a couple snacks when I got done hiking. And then got picked up, and she offered to drop me off here, which is awesome because I wanted to eat lunch, which I did. And then she said, I joked about how I need some steps, and if she didn't mind me walking around the property. And I got to point the camera this way. Someone coming right at me. Okay, so then she says, oh, you're not the only one. So, walk around the property. So anyway, I got dropped off here, and I'm getting picked up at 5. So I'm here for 3.5 hours. And I got roughly another 45 minutes here or so. So anyway, the mindset is I might take tomorrow off and just stay there as a 0 day and just walk on flat. I'll come here again and walk around the property and see how the foot's doing, because it's feeling perfect this morning. But I think once you get going and doing some miles, and I can't just do 5 miles, Jacob, if you're listening, I know you are, but I used to work with him when I wasn't retired. But it's a good theory to just do 5 mile days, but sometimes you just can't, unless you're willing to tent all the time. I'm not, so. Anyway, so get going on this story. So it's up in the air. It looks like if I hike the 8 miles tomorrow, which I'll be finishing here, and then I'll take the next day off. So either way, I'm taking a day off. So I think it's more advisable to take tomorrow off to give it the rest early than later, because after that, I have, let's walk. I can't go by the music, that's right. Well, just to give you the foreseeable future, what's going on. So after, let's say it's going to take me 2 days to get here, one with hiking, one with a 0 day. So it'll be 3 nights at the hostel I'm at, because I'm slack packing tomorrow or the next day, one of the two. And then after that is a 13-mile, which I just showed you, to Telico Gap. And then I'll probably be staying at a shuttle further up. They have free pickups there and drop-offs. And then after that is, I think, around 17, and I'll probably break it up into 2 days just because of the foot thing. And that would go to Yellow Gap after Telico Gap, and then after that is Fontana Dam. So I'd be like another 2 nights in the hostel at the, it's called the Hike-In. And then after that, I could take a 0 or just see how the foot's doing, because this is huge. After that, I'll be entering the Smoky Mountains if I make it that far. So, all right, so I'm gonna end this now. Enjoy the pictures, and I'll get some more footage. I'll probably do the hostel tonight, but put it in tomorrow's footage because it'll be a 0 day most likely. And I think today's video is already too long. Thanks for watching that 25-minute video that was released today. So when you see this, it'll be 2 days ago. All right, bye. Okay, all right, this is actually the part of the trail, this bridge. But anyway, I might include this in today's footage or tomorrow. All right. Looks like they're doing some training. I'm not really sure, but looks like training. So this is the Nantahala River, and then that is called the NOC, the Nantahala Outdoor Center, and they have one in Gatlinburg also. So obviously this area is a kayak or what do you call it, rubber rafting. That's, big tourist area for that. This is the restaurant. I ate there. I had the burger and fries because all the hikers get that. Across the street is a general store. And I'm going to go inside into the hiker area, and I'll show you inside real quick. I'm upstairs at the NOC, the knock. This looks like a different board. This one's already filling up. I don't see my name. I signed this a month ago, but they probably had to start a second one or third, I don't know. But I feel bad signing these in advance and not hiking up to this point, but looks like I'm gonna at least come up to here. There's a hiker box. Let's see if there's anything in here. There's never nothing of value to me anyway, but I don't go through these. I don't need anything else. So yeah, they got all the supplies you need. These are all day packs. AT. I got that book. That's a good book. So here's all your little accessories, I guess you could call them here. But some trekking poles. I have black diamond. These are lucky. They got black diamond headlamps. And then people that bring a stove, these are their dehydrated meals. I elected not to bring a stove. I'll eat good food when I get into town, like I did today. So that's about it. And then the kayak stuff is that way. So pretty much half of this floor is all for the hikers.